Ashford University presents
a teachable moment in support of the academic voice. As instructors, one of our main goals is to help students find and use their academic voice. A strong academic voice demonstrates the ability to synthesize research into a cohesive, clear, and precise written work that reflects the unique perspective of the author. Academic voice is cultivated through practice and the courage to explore and communicate personal perspectives as grounded in and supported by research. Therefore, the academic voice reflects an author's original thinking by presenting ideas, facts, arguments, and conclusions that are supported by the research. The development of one's academic voice is a gradual process that takes time and practice. It may also take courage to communicate your own ideas rather than relying on the words of others to represent them. Ethical decision-making skills are also integral to using one's academic voice. According to the Association of American Colleges and Universities, students' ethical self-identity evolves as they practice ethical decision-making skills and learn how to describe and analyze positions on ethical issues. It's clear that ethical decisions around how and when to use the words of others in one's own writing need to be learned, with guidance of those more skillful and practiced in this area, such as faculty. Because developing original writing is a gradual process, faculty can provide coaching through Teachable Moments. Turnitin is an originality detection tool that helps faculty in guiding students to use and cite other authors' material. This tutorial will offer ways to use Turnitin when making decisions around whether to use a teachable moment or a sanction such as an incident report of academic dishonesty or IROAD. It will also describe a variety of options that can be used when providing a teachable moment to students, including ways to analyze and respond to different types of non-original student writing, the use of the IROAD, and when it's the most appropriate choice for non-original writing. Finally, we examine the process of applying an effective and efficient teachable moment. At this point, you can click the next arrow to review each section in order, or you can click a topic button to jump to that section. Using a teachable moment for non-original work. Scholarly writing is a complex skill that is honed throughout a college degree. APA technical skills and original thinking takes practice and work. Also, original writing requires the confidence to share your ideas with others. Faculty can help students navigate the complexities of academic writing through the teachable moment. When you help students see that non-original writing is inappropriate and provide guidance around proper use of outside sources, you also model ethical behavior and integrity. The teachable moment also helps connect students to writing sources that will serve them throughout their degree and lifetime. As you examine the Turnitin reports, you'll discover non-original writing in some student work. It often makes sense to offer students a teachable moment as part of their development process. Let's examine some common types of non-original work, which include improper quoting or citing, paraphrasing errors, language from prompts or assignments, and the recycled paper. Let's take a look at each of these in more detail. In Turnitin, missing or incorrect quotation marks around copied material is considered non-original and is reflected in the final Turnitin score, even if a citation is present. For a teachable moment, you may want to provide feedback directly on the assignment or on the waypoint document. It's helpful to highlight mistakes and provide guidance using comments. Then continue modeling proper formatting directly on the paper or waypoint document for at least a few more instances. Also, you might want to send the student to the Ashford Writing Center using a referral form, or ask the student to complete a citing and quoting tutorial and quiz. Paraphrasing is a skill that involves the ability to synthesize research and show comprehension of ideas and concepts. Students must also acknowledge the works of others using APA formatting. Needless to say, paraphrasing takes practice, confidence in one's own ideas and voice, and APA technical skills to create a well-formed written work. Students may need assistance using their own words to support arguments and restate ideas in a way that demonstrates comprehension, all in APA formatting. In the teachable moment, you'll want to break out one or two skills separately to help focus the student on key problem areas. The Ashford Writing Center is a great resource for developing paraphrasing skills. You can refer students directly to the Writing Center website for paraphrasing resources. There's also a paraphrasing tutorial and quiz you can have students complete. Finally, you may want to check out the Teachable Moment script for ideas when providing dialogue around paraphrasing. Writing that combines blocks of non-original text from a variety of sources without paraphrasing is often called the mashup. Citations may or may not be present. Mashup papers typically lack evidence of original thinking. The mashup can be a perfect opportunity for instructors to guide students in paraphrasing skills. Students can be asked to explain in their own words what the research is saying and how it is connected to their world views. Remember to also provide guidance on quoting and citations if they're missing. Students can be referred to the Writing Center for guidance, or you may wish to direct them to tutorials and resources that help develop paraphrasing skills. The Teachable Moment script can also provide you with dialogue for addressing the mashup. Students often include language from prompts or assignment instructions in their paper, contributing to the Turnitin similarity score. This language should be excluded from the Turnitin report, and the student should not be penalized for matching material. A recycled paper is one that is written by the student and submitted in a previous course. It may be that the student is repeating the same course after having failed or dropped it previously. Or the student may be using material from an assignment submitted in a different course. It is the student's own writing, but it's being reused in this assignment. How do you know if the paper is recycled? We're going to check with Jeff and Oli on that one. That's how we know. Although the students are usually guided to notify instructors about recycled work, sometimes they neglect to do so. If you're unsure, perhaps it's best just to ask the student. How should you respond to the recycled paper? It's up to the instructor whether or not to accept a recycled paper. Often it makes sense to allow a student to resubmit a paper that was previously submitted in the same course. However, if the material came from a different course, you may wish the student to develop new ideas and work in your course. The final decision around what and what not to accept is up to the instructor and should be in the instructor policy posted in the announcements at the start of the class. Although all non-original work is an opportunity for a teachable moment, occasionally an additional response is necessary. The Incident Report of Academic Dishonesty, or IROAD, escalates the issue to the Department of Academic Integrity. When you submit an IROAD, the Department of Academic Integrity will open a case and conduct research into the situation. Note that while the department will make a determination as to whether the student plagiarized, it does not judge whether the plagiarism was intentional. Academic integrity sanctions are tracked across the student's entire lifetime at Ashford University. Sanctions escalate dramatically and are maintained in the student's permanent record. Let's review the IROAD sanctions chronologically. The first confirmed sanction results in a 0 on the assignment. In the second confirmed IROAD sanction, the student automatically fails the class. The third disciplinary action leads to a failed class, a hearing with the Student Community Standards Committee, and the possibility of suspension or being expelled from school. Needless to say, faculty should be wary of submitting an IROAD when intent to cheat is not immediately apparent. Some incidents of non-originality suggest ethical conduct is a concern. Although intent to plagiarize may be likely, these incidents are still an important opportunity to have a conversation with the student about the importance of growing skills around academic voice and academic integrity. Two types of non-originality are of greatest concern when reviewing student work. These include the single source paper and the word switch or thesaurus style paper. Single source papers result from the use of another author's work for the majority of the paper. The source may be a research site, or it may be a copy of another student's paper, or even a purchased paper from a third party such as a paper mill. Unlike the recycled paper, the single source will not have the student's name when reviewing the Turnitin report, and we're going to double check with this language with Jeff and Oli. For a teachable moment, it's very important to also talk with the student to learn more about the situation and guide them in ethical decision making. Finally, you may want to send the student to the Ashford Writing Center to learn more about writing options when faced with an ethical dilemma such as time pressure. Don't forget to check the Teachable Moment script for language around the use of an IROAD and concerns regarding plagiarism. In the word switch or thesaurus writing, words are deliberately changed to evade plagiarism detection. There are online tools that can be used to systematically convert words throughout a paper while retaining the same general theme. However, word switch papers stand out when sentences don't make sense. For example, a word switch tool can reword gross motor skills to gross engine abilities, or labor union to labor marriage, and so on. Here's an example of a word switch document in Turnitin. The Turnitin report will show how interspersed original words are replaced with words with similar meaning. When comparing the Turnitin report with the original source document, you can see where words have been switched out. Although intent to plagiarize is likely, a word switch incident is a good opportunity to have a conversation with a student about ethical decision making and the importance of growing skills around academic voice. An IROAD should also be submitted. You may want to send the student to the Ashford Writing Center to learn more about writing options when faced with an ethical dilemma, such as time pressure. Don't forget to check out the Teachable Moment script for language around the use of an IROAD and concerns regarding plagiarism. In this tutorial, we've examined examples of non-originality in student work and discussed ways to respond with a teachable moment. Why are teachable moments important to a student's academic life, and how can you provide a teachable moment effectively and efficiently? The Teachable Moment offers faculty options for response to non-original writing, while giving students the chance to improve and explore their academic voice. It also offers feedback on specific skills which take time and practice to develop, with the goal of eliminating non-originality in student work. The Teachable Moment also calls attention to the ethical decision-making process, a skill that sometimes requires guidance from those with a broader perspective, such as faculty. With all these opportunities, why not consider a teachable moment? When you identify issues around non-original writing, the most efficient way to provide a teachable moment is to give students feedback for that specific writing errors, such as paraphrasing, quoting, and citing. Also, you'll want to include some important documents to emphasize targeted feedback and guidance. These should include a Turnitin report, perhaps with sections highlighted that clearly point out areas of concern. You would want to include an email or communication with a summary of the specific writing error. Although you don't want to overwhelm the student with resources and links, one or two that address the specific writing error can help students who are trying to understand and improve their writing skills. This feedback might also include tutorials, resources, or a referral to the Ashford Writing Center. In all cases, save the materials and communications in the gradebook for record keeping. Here's a flowchart of options when using a teachable moment or an IROAD. Let's start with a teachable moment. Using a teachable moment, you may first want to capture the student's attention by reducing the grade earned. Even if the assignment has met some of the criteria, you can manually reduce the points earned in Waypoint. Next, you want to offer resources and guidance around the specific errors identified. These might include a referral to the Writing Center, targeted resources, or even a tutorial and quiz. Another option might be for the student to fix and resubmit their work. The third step in the process is to consider giving back points for completion of work assigned, which is recommended. Be sure to make note of details around all 3 steps in the student gradebook so they have a clear picture of their pathway to improvement. This also provides historical data of the intervention. If you decide it's time to submit an IROAD, you'll want to provide a 0 on the assignment. Note, if plagiarism is confirmed, there's no possibility for the student to earn back points. In addition, you'll want to provide specific feedback on the error or issue. It's also important to provide guidance around ethical decision-making when submitting an IROAD. Be sure to make note of details around all 3 steps in the student gradebook so they have a clear picture of their pathway to improvement. One more thing you can do as an instructor is to give students a heads up about the importance of original writing and work. A week 1 announcement can help encourage students to think about original writing. In addition to expectations, try to include resources for APA formatting and access to the Writing Center. Because the student will have questions and concerns, it's also important to be accessible to the student when offering a teachable moment. Their success will depend on your attentive support and guidance to help them acknowledge their mistakes and learn. In your teachable moment, you'll want to clearly explain errors made and address ethical choices if appropriate for the situation. Offer specific resources such as the Writing Center or tutorials. And finally, you'll want to provide a clear pathway for improvement, including points deducted and any opportunities to earn back points. Okay, and then a summary slide, and then on to references and acknowledgments and the end.